for any of our listeners who think they're being alienated, whether as a child or an adult child, a parent, even sometimes grandparents, we could say, or aunts and uncles, are there any like specific resources you would direct them to initially as they're trying to understand what is this exactly? How do I deal with this?
Well, the first thing I say is, visit our website, eMM.org.au, and you can start off on the home page, and you can find a little bit more about. We're using different terminology these days with EMMM. We're using more of it's a survival-based rejection,
Yeah.
and so what it is, it's actually parent-child trauma, coerced attachment, and alienation. So it picks up on the trauma bond and how the child has been coerced into this unhealthy attachment with a problematic parent. And so they can learn all about things from, what it is, who does it, um, that it's not gendered, coercive control is at the heart of it.
Yeah.
And you can also learn about the characteristics of a person who alienates, from the problematic personality traits like narcissistic, borderline, histrionic, paranoid traits. And then you can, dive into the other factors which could be in play. There could be a high anxiety or over controlling parent. They might not have those B cluster sort of personality traits. It might be like micromanaging, over anxious about, handovers and the other parent looking after the child, and lots of worry, so the child's a little bit like is more fearful and anxious rather than being hateful and entitled. So you
Mm.
kind of see like different kind of dynamics. So you kind of a big one that plays a huge part in these sort of cases is cognitive distortions. So these are really unhelpful ways of thinking that people who have got things like mental disorders or high anxiety, they may start to like be cynical about a lot of things and catastrophize things and kind of using emotional reasoning. Um, or overgeneralizing. There's a huge list on our website. If you actually go to the education section on the website, there's a drop down menu that you can go through and look at all the different components and different information. We've even got things about parental child abduction, intergenerational trauma, alienating tactics. It's it, it's the term parental alienation is basically an outcome. It's quite simplistic in a way. If you just say, I'm experiencing parental alienation without actually painting the full picture of what's actually going on. Unless you're an academic or a clinician that's specialized in this area, you go, oh yeah, I know exactly, I know the complexities and what you could be going through. But for someone who doesn't, somebody like could be a lawyer, might not even know what parental alienation is. And they might just go, oh, it's probably just a legal tactic or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of information on the website that people can jump into and have a look. Yeah.
Good. So basically people should really go and explore a bit about why that alienation is happening, what are kind of the factors at play, and try to use that to educate themselves and those that are offering them services and support to basically get out of that situation, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and there's a section there which often schools get involved. They kind of get recruited by the alienating parent,
Yeah.
and I've done 2-page infographic kind of sheet that's kind of explains some of the dynamics that can happen when the parent recruits or the so you've got a principal who is got the similar sort of traits, or a teacher that might have the similar traits as a parent, and it's sort of like that's it. Now it's all about us and them kind of thing,
Mm.
and yeah, it can be very destructive, especially if a child's like their environment is made up of people who have this narrative against this other parent or person. They don't have the ability to speak freely or safely about their rejected parent or how they feel.